So I'm seeing them all for their first time was like heaven. It was a wonderful experience and something that came from me. I'm actually, having given birth to. It was just a really emotional thing, but very exciting. And to find out that they were faced with a terminal ill disease broke my heart.
Tolia Terrell lost her 3 children after they suffered from mysterious, debilitating illnesses. Experts believe it may be the results of mitochondrial disease, a condition that affects a cell's mitochondria, which produces most of the energy needed for cells to function. Many of these types of diseases can range from minor symptoms to chronic fatigue, respiratory disorders, and serious heart defects. It is a genetic disorder that has proven difficult to diagnose. For Tolia, the discovery came years after the birth of her first daughter, Jalea.
She was getting sick. Her breathing was abnormal, so we kept taking her to the doctor and they said it's normal. And so it got to the point where she looked like she was near death, and we took her to St. Mary's Hospital where they saw that she had an enlarged heart. At this point, it was really hard. It was really weak. She was going to get a heart transplant, but between the time of us discussing it and going over to the hospital of choice, which would have been Loma Linda, she passed away within that time frame.
Years later, Tolia gave birth to her second daughter, Paige. Early on, Paige also suffered similar problems to Jalea.
I never imagined having another child with problems again, so I was just thinking, okay, new child, new life, and I was prepared and ready to take that step.
Paige was transferred to Children's Hospital. Tolia told doctors that her first daughter died of heart complications.
The doctors are looking at me saying, it's not a heart problem. I mean, the heart is affected, but this sounds a little bit more complicated than just another child with a heart problem. That normally doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. I was just hoping for the best as a mother. Your child is sitting here sick, and you want her to get healed and be okay, but it was, it was a hurtful situation. But I guess when I got that over, he just said that she's not gonna make it. When I was content with it, I just kissed her and I said, Paige, I'm talking to her and I'm kissing her. I said, mommy is gonna be okay if you don't. And I said, I'm gonna go home, and I was on my way home, and when I got there, she passed away. They told me when I left out, she expired.
She spoke with doctors who said there was a chance that what affected Jalea and Paige could affect her third child, Elijah. They also told her she had a chance at a healthy child. Tolia was referred to Dr. Jose Camacho, a research geneticist and assistant professor of pediatrics at UC Irvine.
They referred us because I specialize in metabolism and genetics, and what they knew was that both his sisters had died of some form of heart disease and then eventually mitochondrial disease, because they did the muscle biopsy that showed that the mitochondria wasn't working. When he was born, we clinically made the diagnosis within the first 2 months of life. We don't know exactly the pattern of inheritance yet, because we don't know the gene exactly. We follow him closely, and about the time of 2 months, we knew he had, inherited the disease.
Most of the patients, all the patients are recommended to take vitamins, and we're talking about special vitamins. Riboflavin, coenzyme Q, those ones that you don't hear often, and you have to get them from special pharmacies.
Things were fine initially, but Elijah's heart started growing faster. He died a month shy of his first birthday.
It's hard to talk about something like that, even though she's my best friend. But I will always pray for her and just believe that things will get better and she will be able to have a child. And I had hope, and I still have hope. I'm always thinking how I can make a change. and especially for Tolia, I wanted her to have closure. So I thought of Children Take Flight, and Children Take Flight because they're all going to heaven, and they took flight.
Tolia and Eunice have teamed up to present the Take Flight fundraiser fashion show on Saturday in Long Beach. Proceeds from the event will benefit research of the incurable disease.
It's almost like a therapy. God ultimately gives me my strength, but it's a therapy knowing that I'm doing something to give back to this disease that's, closely affect me. So I guess the ultimate is that someone else this information will be of service for someone else, for other families.